Hello, welcome to The Wolf Among Us After the Bell. I've finished episodes 1 to 5 of the inaugural season of The Wolf Among Us, so it's time for the official After the Bell grading. Now, I know I haven't done a Before the Bell, but this title in particular is rather short, and I had quite a lot of time just to focus solely on this. It didn't make sense to me to do a Before the Bell video and then release the After the Bell just a day later. With that said, I will kick off with our cards on the table. First off, I have never read the comic Fables, which is what the universe this particular game is based on. Secondly, I am a massive fan of Telltale's breakout series The Walking Dead, in particular Season 1. So I'm familiar with what Telltale do and what they're capable of producing, and also I love their style of games. So, but what about The Wolf Among Us? It's a very, very impressive series. The story it tells and the characters that you meet are top draw. They really, really are. You play the role as Bigby Wolf, who is actually the infamous Big Bad Wolf from the stories from your childhood. So imagine the guy that blows the houses down, the guy that eats Little Red Riding Hood. That's the guy that you're playing. He's the sheriff of a community known as Fabletown, and is tasked with solving a bizarre and vicious murder. The Fable setting from the outside seems a little bit ridiculous, but as soon as you start playing the game, you soon realise what a unique and fantastic concept it is. Seeing characters like Beauty and the Beast, Snow White, Little Mermaid, all in this modern and brutal setting is very intriguing. Speaking of the brutal setting, The Wolf Among Us certainly pulls no punches. The foul language, there's bloody fights, savage murders, prostitution, it's all rife here within Fabletown. Do not be fooled by the cel-shaded, kid-friendly graphics. This is an adult's game. Now, if you've played a Telltale title in the past, you will know what to expect in terms of the gameplay. It hasn't changed a lot. It's a dialogue-heavy point-and-click game where the game will dynamically adapt and change depending on the choices you made. The fate and lives of others rest in your hands, and you could quite feasibly play through this game twice just to see how making different choices affects the game and the story. One of the criticisms of The Walking Dead series in itself was that there wasn't enough action, and that when the action was there, it was a little bit awkward and unpolished. I'm happy to report that in The Wolf Among Us, it has an upgrade in frequency, and the mechanics have also improved. Now the balance between action and downtime and storytelling is near perfect in my opinion. They've really nailed it in this. Now, the mechanics, I said yes, they have improved, but they're not perfect. You still will run into the odd graphical and animation warps when you nail a quick time event slightly before or after probably when it was intended, but it doesn't spoil or ruin the experience. As I said, it is an upgrade on what we have previously experienced with Telltale. The only gripe I could think of was that there's still a few technical issues with the game, with frame rate stuttering, but again, it's improved over the Walking Dead series, and it's very, very minor. It's really not worth mentioning in all honesty. The Wolf Among Us is a fantastic concept, and it tells us an engaging and interesting story. Rather than it being 5 separate episodes, they're all quite heavily linked together and follow on from one or the other, whereas I found the Walking Dead series, there's probably an underlying storyline, but they were quite separate. This in particular, you following the same story arc all the way through to the end, and it works really well. Telltale Games have improved the areas of the game that were in need of looking at and care, and they've given us an absolute cracker. It probably doesn't reach the same high stakes as The Walking Dead Season 1, but I would go out on a limb and say it's a close second and is in front of the second season of The Walking Dead. It's a terrific and unique setting that is fused with the storytelling and moral dilemmas that only Telltale Games can deliver, and it serves up an absolute treat. The After the Bell grading for The Wolf Among Us is gold. Thanks very much for your time, and ta-da.
He asked me if I recognized him, knew who he was. I said I didn't. He started beating on me. Then you showed up, started beating on him. That about cover it, hun?
I'm the woodsman, you whore. I saved Little Red Riding Hood from this monster. I cut this fucker open and filled his belly full of stones. and threw him in the fucking river. That's who the fuck I am, you stupid bitch!
Hey, what did I say? I said be nice, or you wait outside.
Come on!